These cryptos will explode tomorrow. This is NC Hammer Crypto. My name's Neil, keeping technical analysis short and sweet, and we're going to blast through a bunch of these because I get about 3 minutes of your guys' attention. So with this line here, we have kind of what Bitcoin history was, and Bitcoin has a tendency to repeat itself, which is the definition of insanity. That's what we live in these days, and I believe we are going to see a pump up with tomorrow's announcement with Jerome Powell. And with that, I believe we're going to start seeing the altcoin season kick off. I could be wrong. He could just reduce it and nothing happen until November. But more than likely, I believe we're going to start seeing a bunch of money flood into Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, and stocks in general, which brings me right over to CTSI. If you have not entered CTSI, I just want to, for example, show you what the potential profits could be. We have $1.79 being its all-time high, currently at around 0.084 cents, more or less. And the potential profit to the previous high is around 2,135%. Even 1,000% is up here at 89 cents. It's about a 10x. So in quant, for example, we are looking for about a 10x, and that's a $100 investment. You could snag a couple of CTSI and get 2,000%. So if we entered in at 100, say 120, and we'll do right here, 120, to get 2,000%, we need to go to around 2,467. That is a possibility. I personally think we're going to be heading more potentially around here, 1,197%, or even down here around 1,200, so 1,000%. There are other opportunities out there, such as CTSI, but definitely don't put an entire bag into one coin and then just wait for that pump to happen. But we see a bunch of volume. RSI is very healthy, building higher lows, and we are breaking over that 200 EMA as well as a downward trend line. A little bit of volume, or for example, what's going to be happening tomorrow with the speech, we could see a major pump up at least to 47 cents, which is more or less a 478% increase. For that same increase to happen within QNT, we're going to need to go to about $700, which I don't think is going to happen as quickly as it could possibly happen with something like CTSI. Keeping in mind, none of this is financial advice. I'm not saying sell your bag and buy CTSI instead, but if you have some money laying around or you start taking some profits from other coins, this is actually looking very, very healthy. IOTX real quick, trying to hold an upward trend line. Needs to get over that 200 EMA, ultimately over 0.034. We've done that before. It's in consolidation. Spell trying to build higher lows still. Also needs to get above that 200 EMA. DOGE having its pullback from its pump to 29 cents, as we have explained in the previous videos. And doing that pullback, did not make it to the 618. Starting to build a little support around this 0.05. So if you missed your entry here at 21 cents, you now have another opportunity. See what happens within today or tomorrow before entering a Dogecoin. But currently 26 cents. That is a steal. One of my all-time favorites, while everything else is moving down or sideways, Tornado Cash. If you have not used that reference link to trade on NextC, definitely use that link. It's in the description below. But Tornado Cash is up over 100% since our original entry, and we increased our position size right when we broke over this $11. It did have that flash crash, but held support at $11, which is the new base, and we pushed up to $15, increasing our size again at $12 to $13. Currently still all trades are in profit, and we are trying to hold our position here at $15, and the CM Guppy is coming up. This is fire now. It does not want to enter even into the 50% area, which would be around $14. If it does, definitely get your entry in there as the next stop is anywhere from $22 to $27 very quickly. But none of this is financial advice. Highly recommended. One of my favorite coins at the moment is Tornado Cash. Downward wedge. Aerodrome needs to break this wedge to start seeing some momentum. Compound. Still phenomenal entry point. All-time high of nearly 1,000. $44 pushing up to 1,000. The percent gains or ROI potential is pretty astronomical. 1,800%. So still another very good opportunity. A little bit more expensive than CTSI, but definitely moves very quickly. We have seen this coin do amazing things in the previous market years. So getting in once it gets over this 200 EMA, even if you're missing out on that $4 entry price, once we get over that 200 EMA, it is getting more support, and we need to break this downward wedge. So even entering at $50, it's nearly a well over 1,500% potential increase in price. QNT, trying to hold this upward line, not necessarily the best support, but we are looking at the RSI, trying to build support on that yellow line and get over this 200 EMA. Ultimately needs to break that downward trend line like we've talked about. Probably more consolidation, but we could see a quick pump with tomorrow's news, testing this downward trend line, and then potentially testing it as support yet again before taking off towards the $171 mark. XCN is getting its own video, but BNT downward channel here, testing to try and build a bottom to move back up towards this downward trend line. If that gets broken, we can start seeing that upward momentum. If you have not entered BNT, it is currently 76 cents, all-time high of $20. And if we are going for the ROI compared to other coins, roughly you're looking at, here's $20. 2,719% or 27x. There are options out there. If you have profit from other coins when they pop up, definitely go back to these videos and look at these opportunities that I have presented. Not financial advice. Flare, they have a staking network. If you have XRP, you can stake your XRP with Flare network and get paid out in Flare. You just need a 1-to-1 ratio. And so say it's at 2 cents right now, for a couple $100, say you have, 5,000 XRP, you can, for $150 with Flare, you can stake it and earn passive income with Flare, which is always nice to see. XYO, ooh, this thing is so built up. I'm gonna do a thing on XYO, on its own thing. And DNT, they're going in the same movie sector. GRT, trying to build some support, ultimately needs to go over that 10 cents before looking for an entry on GRT, but it is getting that 200 EMA exhausted. Moving real quick over to LCX, trying to build some support here and get over that 200 EMA. Like I've stated before, we need to get above the 200 EMA and this downward trend line to start seeing a little bit more support. This line is roughly irrelevant, but ultimately we need to break this downward trend line for LCX. Toshi, trying to build a base over that 200 EMA. Still within that downward wedge. It broke out but came right back in. We need to break that downward trend line and hold this upward trend line to start looking for an entry for Toshi. H-bar, downward channel, bull flag. Once it breaks this downward wedge, similar to XRP and XLM, we will see a major pump in H-bar. And KN, get over the 200 EMA, epic, blah, blah, blah. Still trying to hold support. Floki, trying to hold this upward trend line. We need to get over this 0.40s at a 9.8 and the 200 EMA before looking for an entry. Oops, cookie. something I have entered. It's kind of traded sideways, had that major pullback, but is still holding higher lows. Once we get over that 200 EMA, definitely start looking for a bigger position size on Cookie. And we'll sneak in BCH. BCH consolidation. That's it. Good luck. Have fun with it. Like and subscribe if you haven't. References in the description below. I will see you on the next one.